What's going on, everyone? Juice Bags here, and welcome back to my Dungeon Defenders 2 new player playthrough for 2024. We are making our way through that Onslaught Defender map. However, last episode, we did get Chaos 6 unlocked. We're at a 3932 champion score now. Our next goal is to get to a 5300 champion score to unlock Chaos 7. Now, with that in mind, let's jump on in and do some Chaos 6. For this one, I'm going to go to the Jacked Sparrow. The reason I'm doing this map is I just feel like all of the massive amount of DU you get just really helps you out for a smooth transition into Chaos 6. Now, if we take a look at the enemies, our newest enemy is the Hex Thrower. With their mighty javelins, Hex Throwers can curse your defenses from long range. So basically, this is a javelin thrower on serious methamphetamines, and they will throw at your core from all the way across the world, without question. With this in mind, this is one of the reasons that so many people suggest getting the EV2 as your first hero, as the EV has the Reflect Beam, which is direct counter to this enemy. Now, looking through the rest of the goodies, we've got our little Vanguard Shieldy Goblins. We've got some Geodes, we've got Berserkers, and we've got Assassins. With this in mind, we've got nothing to disable ground traps, R's, and nodes. We do have enemies that are going to be reflecting projectiles or absorbing projectiles, so we go back to some good old-fashioned flame auras. Let's jump on into the Jack Sparrow and give it a whirl here. Now, for players that don't have the EV, I would suggest picking a map that doesn't have any objectives or sub-objectives close to a spawn. As I mentioned, the Hex Throwers will throw from across the world, so you want to make sure that you pick and choose which map you're going to play until you get the EV unlocked and all the goods. Now, as I mentioned, this is going to be a heavy aura spam build, so we're going with some flame auras. We've got Destruction from Chaos 1, Defense Rate from Chaos 4, and Deadly Strikes from Chaos 3. And then we've got a Lightning Strike aura. We're using an unupgraded... You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and upgrade that thing. Why the heck not? I've got the gold. Let's get a little value out of it. So we've got Defense Crit Damage. That's not my first shard selection. Destruction and Defense Rate. So Defense Crit Damage, of course, is a campaign shard drop. You probably have a ton of these in your bag already if you are going into Chaos 6. Now, in addition to that, we want to do something with Sky Guards. We've got nothing going here. I've got this relic on the Sky Guards. Do I have a better relic? No, it looks like I scrapped everything already. What about over here? We actually do have a better relic there. So let's take that. What's that, 25,000 versus 13,000? Yeah, I'd say that's a big upgrade. Let's go with that one on some Sky Guards, as this map can get pretty flyer intensive. Now, first things first, we want to wall it up. So we take a look at the lanes up top. The enemies are going to come around and come down to the lower lanes here. So we can go with a wall, say something like, you know, say right here. Same thing over this side. The enemies are going to come down the stairs and come to a point here. Now we've got down below, everything is going to converge and come up to these points. So we can go with like a wall right there. Over on this side, we'll slap down a wall, say like right here. I am trying to put the walls out of line of sight from where the Hex Throwers are going to be. And then we've got our toughest lane, which is going to be this lane right here. So I'm going to build these walls back in hopes that the Hex Throwers aren't able to just annihilate them. And then this side already has a wall, of course. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to spam it out. Now, this is going to be the toughest lanes, no doubt. You see we've got our Hex Throwers right there. We want to bring a whole lot of pain right up front in their face. So let's just go ahead and spam up some auras all the way through this entire section. So we've got the base area covered. Additionally, I'm going to go ahead and throw some lightning strikes in there as well, just because we want this lane good and dead. Now, of course, we are going to have to have something back at our walls. So Let's go ahead and go with a, let's go with 2 Flamars, actually. And we'll go with a Lightning Strike Zara as well. We'll come over here, we'll do the same thing. We'll go 2 Flamars and a Lightning Strike Zara. Right here, we'll do that one more time. So, 2 Flamars and a Lightning Strikes. And you guessed it, over here, we're going to go 2 Flamars and a Lightning Strikes. Now, we know we have Berserkers, and one thing we know about Berserkers is they're just going to go through. Berserkers got a Zerk, y'all. They're going to make it to your walls. So with that in mind, we want to make sure we got that heavy-hitting goodness there on our walls. And then we've got Mad Flyers here. So let's go ahead and throw down, say, 5 Skyguard Towers to help out on the Flyers. And what do we want to do next? Well, we can just go ahead and continue to build out the rest of the map. You see all that stuff I spammed, and we've only used half of the available DU. So yeah, lots of DU available in this one, and it's why this map really is a go-to for me personally, as far as busting into a new tier, as you just get extremely generous amounts of DU available. So let's see, we can go something like that, so we're still working the enemies all the way out here. Let's actually get the bottom all jacked up before we worry about anything else right here. So here for the lower lanes, I'm going to go right from where we walled it up. And we're going to go Flamars all the way down the lanes, all the way up to every single spawn. Assuming I have enough DU available, that is. So let's just continue to lap them and loop them all the way around. So we got this side of the map covered. We got, what, another 320 DU left. So we got 10 more Flamars to go here. We can go, let's just do the same thing here. We'll start it right here, and we'll get as much coverage as we can. Now, it looks like I may have overkilled it a little on the other side, so we might have to sell an aura. And here, assuming you have a Deadly Strikes, you can get a little double dip here if you put the R's like right along this post. I'm just going to go ahead and continue to spam them up, though. Let's see, we can get rid of, say, that aura. We can get rid of that aura too, and just add 2 more of them in here. I think that'll get me. Now, we got 20 left. What do we want to do with the 20? Well, I mean, that's a Lightning Strikes aura, but where do we want to put it? Kind of take your pick. You can look around and see which lane looks like maybe it's going to be the toughest. Let's see, 37 enemies, 49 enemies, 37. Let's go right here, because we got this 49 enemy lane. We'll place that one. You know what? I'm just going to stuff it right there. It's just a remainder of the DU. So let's go ahead and fire it up and see how it goes for wave number 1. Once again, it is all about those Hex Throwers. Now, this map, although it is super generous on the DU, as I mentioned, there is just a mountain of Flyers. There's no doubt. So you're going to want to make sure you're paying attention to those Flappy Birds, as they will get you. Now, I don't have a Deadly Strikes on my Skyguard yet, but boy, that would be a game changer right here. There's just no doubt. Let's just keep spraying into on what we can. Flyers for days, y'all. Flyers for days. There is no doubt there. And I think we may have gotten over the hump with the Flyers. Or we're at least close to it. No, there's still a good few coming. Let's just continue to work on them. And you see, our ground lanes are actually getting spawn camped. Or that one is, anyway. And that's one of the powers of the boom servo. I mention this all the time. The boom servos, the earlier you are in the game, the more powerful they are. The later you are in the game, the weaker they get. At this stage in the game, boom servos are still crazy good. Now, generally, what I will do for upgrades on a first attempt is look at where the boss lane is. We see we got a Tuskar coming here. So this is where I'm going to want to upgrade. So I'm just going to spam upgrades in that kind of opening spawn kill section first thing. Let's go ahead and go one more, actually. Let's get this all sorts of jacked up. So now our Tuskar lane is super thick, y'all. That is for sure. And then we know these are the shortest lanes and have the potential to be the most problems. So I think I'll just spam just a few more upgrades into that lane, and let's let it fly. Once again, I'm going to go back on flyer duty. I've got all those Skyguards there, but they're not really, it's uncharted Skyguard towers, so I'm not going to be getting incredibly strong performance out of them. Let's just see what we can do here to bring in a little pain. Now, of course, we're going to want to pay attention to the bosses, so you want to watch for that boss to come. Let's keep blazing these fools up. Let's see what we get. Now, another benefit here, if we clear this wave, there's going to be loot on the ground. There's going to be something on the ground. It might be junk. It might be an item we don't need, but there will be something there. So we're going to want to keep an eye out on where Tuskar dies and get us some of that loot. You see, Tuskar is well below halfway just by making it through the opening Aura segment. So let's just go ahead and burn him up a little bit. You see he's got a little regen going there. And are we there? We are there. Tuskar down. We see we got a totem and a relic. Pretty big relic upgrade there, and then a totem as well. So instantly I want to come over here and I want to put that totem, 18,000 defense health versus, actually it's barely an upgrade, but we're going to put it on there anyway because it is an upgrade even though it's small. And then we got 28,000 on this medallion here. Now since it's a blue, it's only got the 2 shard slots available. Where do we want to put it? Well, where are we only using 2 shards? The Skyguard for one. That would give me a little bit more power against that. So let's go ahead and drop that right there. And then only having the 2 shard slots is not really affecting this any. Yeah, and there we go. So once again, let's take a look at what is coming. We got another boss from up here. What are we going to have? We've got an ogre coming this time. And then we've got a captain over here. Now, the captain, of course, is Zergy as hell as well. So we know the captain has a solid chance of being at the wall. So let's spam in some upgrades for the captain here. And then at some point, I'm going to want to upgrade those Skyguards. But let's just get it all juicy. And then, let's just throw 1 upgrade on each of these walls too. Just to get a little bit more power out of them. Now I've got 92 left, or 125 left, so there's 2 upgrades. I think I will put that on the 2 outside Skyguard towers, and let's let it fly again and see if we can't survive yet another. Now, these flyers, I'm focusing on these flyers so heavy, but it's just because there's so many of them, and my Skyguards aren't built. If your Skyguards are built properly with good shards, then you're not going to have to sit up here and do this. Your Skyguards will just clear them, and you can handle the ground lanes. So another downside of this map is the mini-map can be quite confusing with the multiple levels. So it's hard to look and see exactly what's going on by looking at the mini-map. You will get used to it, of course, as you play. But let's see. We should be getting a boss any moment. There we go. Okay, we got the captain is out and the ogre is out. Let's get the captain first, as he's going to run the fastest. We've got our assassins coming as well. So we're going to want to make sure we are in here where the assassins are going to die. Let's get this captain dead. As soon as the captain's dead, we want to instantly switch to the ogre. The ogre's actually got really beat up. So that's kind of a nice thing. Now I am going to want to make sure that wall doesn't die. The ogre's going to be putting in some good work. And then we got this cool little environmental trap too. If anything gets a little bit closer to the wall, we're going to be able to blast it with that cannon. All right, what do we have next? We have a what is that? Is that another ogre? No, we got a siege roller this time, and another siege roller. Double rollers. We could be in trouble on this one. That's a real bad bit of RNG there with 2 rollers. But let's make sure the lanes are going to be good and clear, I guess. This roller up top is going to take a long time to get down. So we can kill this roller last. And you know what? Let's actually get the rest of these sky guards upgraded. I hate to do it since they don't have any shards. But I want to make sure I'm able to jump on those rollers right away, even if there's a bunch of flyers out still. Yeah, 6 for the most part is usually a relatively smooth transition getting into. The hex throwers can cause you some problems if you're not prepared for them. But since we planned ahead, we hopefully should be in good shape. I never got a repair off on that wall, huh? Let's go ahead and get this wall repaired up, just in case we have to play Wall Repair Simulator with the rollers. Okay, here comes the rollers. Now I want to focus on these guys real quick. There's a bunch of enemies behind, too, which hopefully some of those booms go off. Let's get rid of this assassins, and then let's go right to work on that roller. I'm going to try to, no, I'm going to die here. Oh, no, the assassin died pretty quick. Nope, we still got wrecked. Roller rocket to the face is never quite healthy. However, we got the roller past the halfway mark. We just need to get down there and finish them off. And still not at the walls yet. So we still got a little bit of reprieve. We want to bob and weave on them roller rockets a bit. Okay, roller 1 is down. Now roller 2 is made the stair now. And of course, being a roller, he is not at 25% health or whatever because of the auras. So let's just keep working this guy. He's just about there. You see he's chewing under our wall now. I'm going to prioritize wall repair over roller damage. Let's keep that wall as healthy as possible. It's actually close now. The roller is definitely doing more damage than I was repairing, but it was very close, and that was an unupgraded wall as well. Alright, and now the final wave. So we're going to have 3 bosses. What do we got this time? We got a Draken Lord, so we're going to need to oil that boy up. And then we got 2 bosses over here. We've got a Skelly. We got double Skellies, so that actually works out well. Remember, skeleton mobs take increased damage from fire, and we got a crap load of fire damage down. So I think we can actually upgrade this lane and maybe kind of ignore it. And then we'll just focus on getting that Draken Lord oiled as soon as he comes out. So let's go ahead and let it fly for this 5th and final wave here. And see if we can't get that first W in Chaos 6. Keep blasting into these flyers here. We got one more relatively easy tier to break into, being Chaos 7. Chaos 8 will be slightly harder, and then the real pain begins breaking into Chaos 9 without having any additional heroes. So that will be a little bit of a challenge there, but then we are kind of past the grind point in the game. Chaos 10 is easier to break into in Chaos 9 gear than Chaos 9 is in Chaos 8 gear, and I think a big part of that is just because it's such a big scaling difference. Let's get that oil out there first before this assassin comes. And the Draken Lord dead from 1 oil, so good stuff there. We see the Skellies are getting burned, so we're in good shape there as well, and I think we got us a GG here. All we got left is he as an assassin, so let's just stay here in this R stack. Let these assassins die off. We got 1 more. And there we go. We got our very first win in Chaos 6. We got a pet material bundle from the Defender Pass. What was that one? That was level 6 on the Defender Pass. So we got that pet material bundle. Good stuff there. Now, there we go. We got our first win in Chaos 6. And now it is just time to grind it out to get up to Chaos 7. And we'll get that Onslaught Defender mission completed as well. But that will do it for now. Thanks an absolute ton for watching. And I will see you next time around. Take it easy.